All right, welcome everybody. So my voice might be a little bit faint, but I'm gonna work through this anyway because I wanted to connect with you verbally on what I just posted. Now, what I'm gonna go over is really practical and pragmatic. It's it's entering you deeper into the process of how to duplicate the results that I'm getting. Again, for those that don't know, well over 300 enrollments now in Hempworx, my daily choice, in about 90 days. First month, 214 because that's all I focused on. Second month, I think I was in the 30s because I hardly did anything at all. And then last month in February, I think it was about 50 enrollments. And I was third on the leaderboard because they started measuring it by volume. And and again, in February and January, most of my focus was on developing this duplicatable system, not on marketing. I share all this and I keep reinforcing this for those that don't know. What I share with you is highly, highly effective and it's very high leveraging. And when I say high leveraging, I mean you get so much more out of the same hour spent doing anything else. And I believe those results substantiate that. Now, there's different levels of what I'm doing. And obviously, we can't expect somebody to enter in at level one, which is basically where we're at right now. Those of you who entered in at level two or level three, we're going to get there. We need to start you at level one. Uh, you're not at level one. You're not going to get 300 enrollments in 90 days. But you got to understand, I'm on the fast track for $1 million a year residual, and I'm on the fast track for that. That isn't a common goal, nor does it need to be a goal for you. If you want to do something incredible like that, and by the way, incredible is a subjective term. Incredible could be 10 grand a month residual coming in month after month in a few years for you guys, or 20 grand a month. That might be incredible enough. And for people around you, insane levels of financial freedom, security, and of lifestyle. So let's keep all this in perspective. Just remember, I'm entering you in at level one, which is already putting you on course for incredible results. I have to do something insane. When you see me working so hard, putting all this together, it's so you don't have to, and for the people that you bring in so they don't have to, because then it wouldn't be duplicatable. And we enter everybody on at the easiest thing to plug into, which is level one. And once someone plugs into level one and they start getting pre-enrollees, only then we plug them into what I just shared with you, because you got to take them in steps. And this next step is still part of level one, but it's the highest leveraging, kind of the final stage of level one. And then if you want to move into level two, once you get settled into this step, none of this is hard. You're just sending the same emails I am. But once you get settled into this next thing, what I just posted today, what I'm going to go over here verbally with you, then if you want to move on to level two, you can. Or if you're in level two, that's when you will. So very soon here, those of you in level two, level three, we're going to be blasting off to the next level. Okay, so let's go over this. So I said, here it is. This is for people who have already sent at least one email to their 1 cent MLGS leads, my lead. I think it's my lead gen secrets or something like that. The 1 cent leads that we're, the low cost leads that we're starting off with. If you have not already sent an email, go to the announcement post in this group we call Hempworx Email Marketing and send that email. By the way, you can't just join this group, so don't go and just ask to join. You got to go through, where is it? Let me find it. Here's our system, right? Step one, you get the 1 cent leads. They're really, really inexpensive, fast way. You could be generating pre-enrollees right away. And then start emailing leads. This is step two. This is where you come here. Most of you have already done this. And when you fill this out, the team finds out, are you in our downline? If you're not in our downline, you can still join the group and get our support as long as you're in the leads downline. Like, you need to be in our Hempworx downline or our leads downline. Otherwise, we can't just support everybody, obviously. You got to be in one of our downlines. And if you're not in our downlines, you can still get in, but you need to reach out to us and find out how. So anyway, so this is what we're referring to. Everyone's going through those steps. And let me see if I can find my way back to where I just was. So you need to have sent at least an email before you move on to this next step, one step at a time. And then I gave this Google Sheet, which has emails that I send to my list that allows me to get more conversions. Some of these you've seen already, some of them you haven't. I'm going to go through this pragmatically, carefully, mindfully right now, knowing it may get a little boring for those of you who don't understand what we're talking about. So let me just preface all of this with, this is the functional nuts and bolts, how to follow exactly what I do to get the insane results. Okay? And again, this is the entry into it. Well, you've already kind of entered into it, but this is the next phase of it. Nothing that I'm giving you is that difficult. Everything here is boiled down to you sending out the exact same emails I am. But there's nuance to it, and you can do additional things to speed it up that are all completely within your power and control, no matter your schedule, no matter your budget. Like, none of this is outrageous, none of this is weird. It's all extremely duplicatable. So let's go through it, knowing it may feel a little bit boring at times, because we're talking about the pragmatic nuts and bolts, follow exactly what I do, monkey see, monkey do. It's really, really that simple. You know, like, send this email out. Here's exactly how you send it out. Here's where you send it out. You don't need additional tools to send it out. Like, this is really easy, early stuff that anyone can duplicate to start building their leg. It's kind of insane when you think about it. But I'm not here to inspire you today. I'm not here to like make this exciting. Like, it should already be exciting. But this is the nuts and bolts stuff. So let's just slow it down. I'm going to go through this verbally, and there might be times I take a break from just reading this. Because you can read it, but I'm gonna read it, and then I'm gonna stop when things come to mind and add additional layers to it. So you really take it in, like how simple this is. So you follow through because it's so darn simple. You might look at this document at first and go, "Oh my God, it looks so like it's overwhelming. Looks like an essay I had to write in like high school that I got a D on. I don't want to," and you start having PTSD. That's not what this is. It's emails and really clear, duplicatable instructions that anyone can follow to get excellent results for practically free. These leads are 1 cent each. And then when you can graduate up, and I'm going to talk about that, into higher, more advanced level stuff, even here, to get even faster results. And those are not required, but will speed up results, totally optional. So let's go through it. I have a lot more to add to this. In fact, I think I'm going to say that in here. I can't remember if I do or not. Maybe that was in the post where I introduced it. So let me just mention, I have a lot more to add to this. This is just the beginning. I'm going to give you everything that you possibly need to go all the way. Wondering if other people are able to edit this. They shouldn't be. Okay, so these Hempworx emails below are accompanied by this training system. So I already went there. That's this one here, right? It takes you step by step through the process. So we mentioned that. These are the same emails I'm using to get top leaderboard results, 300 plus Hempworx enrollments in my last 90 days. Please do not use my link above, the one that I just showed you. Like, if you're new to all this, don't go to that link if I didn't refer you to Hempworx. So if I didn't refer you to Hempworx, you want to get the link from your sponsor to a page that looks just like this. Okay? If I referred you to Hempworx, go ahead and use my link that I gave you there. If not, go to the person who referred you to Hempworx, ask them for a page that looks like this. If they don't know what the heck you're talking about, then you can get their permission and go ahead and come on back to my link and use my link. But I want you to get their permission, because if you're not anywhere in our team and they don't know what's going on, like, I don't want to step on other uplines' shoes. Like, I don't want to step on their toes. Is that the expression? It's late. I don't want to step on their toes. Like, they might have a system that's in place that they feel confident in, that's duplicatable. And I don't want someone to get all excited about what we're doing over here just because I'm getting fancy results, and have your upline not approve. So, that relationship with your upline is the most important. If they give you permission to use my link and duplicate our system or give it a shot, cool. If not, I really just recommend you follow what your upline's doing. But if you're tied into our team, your upline should have a page that looks like this, that walks you step by step through duplicating all of this. And and if you get permission from a team that's outside of ours, your upline team from outside of ours, you can use my link. Remember to post your email results, just a quick note. Remember to post your email results as you're sending these emails on the community Google tracking sheet, where we share which subject lines, which emails, and other variables that we're testing bring the biggest results. And I say Teamworks on Fire just because that's not the name of the group or anything, but that's like kind of something that comes to mind. Like, we are working as a team to share results so we know which emails and which subject lines and what time of day to send them, it gets the best results. And it's that collective sharing that brings us phenomenal results. 3 categories of emails for prospects. So in this document, there's going to be 3 different categories of emails. Number 1, to send to your leads before they become pre-enrollees. So like, for example, the 1-cent leads that we're having great success with right now, that's one category. And then there's another category of emails that go out to pre-enrollees. And there's another category of emails I'm going to give you that go to the enrollments. Within these 3 categories, there are many different emails that you can use for different situations. For example, within the second category, the one right here for pre-enrollees, I provide an email that welcomes someone who just opted into your My Daily Choice lead capture page. So they just opted in, they just became a pre-enrollee. There's an email for that. But there are also other pre-enrollee emails, obviously, provided to further educate them about the products and opportunity, to build a relationship between you and them, to notify them that someone has enrolled underneath them and is about to jump them, and there's lots and lots of them, right? Okay, so here's some points that I wanted to make before we jump into giving you these emails and talking about how to use them. Cultivate your list with these emails. The word cultivate matters. I'm not just saying using like fancy words or just saying stuff. Like, it means something. There's a process there. And that's what this is getting at. So there's some even though you're sending the exact same emails I am, like the level of follow-through that you bring, the level of commitment you bring to the process matters. And you having the right mindset is going to allow you to actually follow through properly. Cultivate your list with these emails. Don't expect them to join you without a little patience. Like you have to give it a little time for them to get to know you and for you to send different things. I see so many people come in and they send in 1 or 2 emails or even 10 days worth of emails and they don't get a lot of results yet, and they're already forming a strong opinion. It's so silly. Doesn't work like that. And it's one of the reasons why we have the community Google Sheet, so you can see people are getting results. They're getting consistent results. And that will only improve as we see which emails and which subject lines are getting the best results. As we test other lead sources, you just get better and better and better. It's that process that matters, not the day-to-day early results that you're getting. Like, that's not where it's at. You will win big with these emails if you approach this as a process and don't get emotionally caught up in the day-to-day stats. Other than to look at them, to learn from them, and to improve, or to just keep testing different things that are working for other people until they work for you. Successful marketers look at results and stats over a longer duration of time than most people before making an adjustment. And that's it right there. We are always testing, observing, and then adjusting. Like, we never consider anything we do in marketing not testing. It is always testing. Even when it's working awesome, we're like, does it still work awesome today? Oh, look, it's not working as awesome today as it was yesterday. Maybe something changed. Now, I'm guiding you through that process. So it's not just the value of me giving you the marketing presentations along with Rob and Lynn and the marketing funnels, and the emails, the exact same emails I'm sending, and all these little details about, sharing as a community which subject lines that we're testing might get better results. So it's a constantly improving. It's not just all that. I'm also guiding you through this process. So if a certain lead source that's working phenomenally well dries up, I guide you. But part of that guidance is saying, hold up, guys. You might be like going, oh, it's not working for 2 weeks. I'm noticing it's not working for 2 weeks. It must mean it's dried up. No, I'm guiding you. I will let you know when it's the right time, based on over 20 years of experience. Way too much emotional roller coaster, too fast of making opinions and adjusting things that most people are doing. Successful marketers don't ride the roller coaster like that. And I will be guiding you in that process. Now, I've used these emails that I share below to generate incredible results. And I continue to use the same emails now. But you have to be patient with your list. and email them many times before the results really kick in, the big results. Some people send an email out and yeah, I get results, but some people might have to send them for 10 days or two. I mean, I saw one person, like, it seemed like it was 2 weeks, which was ridiculous. I have a feeling that something was wrong. And one of the things I'm going to start doing once this is all set up is actually having calls and looking at how you have it exactly set up. One person, for example, said he wasn't getting results after a few days of sending emails, which is unusual. And to not get any after sending the exact same emails that I'm sending out. And so I said, did you do the exact same thing I did? Same email, same everything? Yeah, absolutely. Looked a little bit more closely, and it took some time on my part, but discovered that he was linking to a different lead capture page that I haven't tested and I don't use. Every little thing that you do will change the results, and we're sharing every little detail in this process. For those of you in the Facebook group where we're doing all of this, again, if you go to step 2, if you haven't already, step 2 on this page, when you click get our emails, it walks you through. When you fill this out, our team looks, are you in our downline? If so, they plug you in. If not, you can ask them follow-up questions and find out other ways to get in there. Once you get in there, in the announcement post, it tells you exactly what to do to copy what I'm doing. And there's also these emails below to send continual follow-up emails. That's what this document is, like lots of emails that you can continue to send to absolutely copy what I'm doing. As you become more experienced, you start to know when to send which emails to optimize. Although I'm giving you massive instruction below, is like little nuances depending on how your list responds. You might send, well, if you're sending like the same email over and over again, for example, and you're not getting the same results others are who appear to be sending that same email, like if you're mindful about this process, you're going to be very meticulous to find out what they might be doing differently. And you should be going to others in the community to figure that out. Like everything's being shared on the Google documents. People are sharing in posts. Like you'll be able to figure out where did you go wrong. It's so easy. But like if you're linking to the wrong lead capture page, don't expect the same results. So, it's real simple, but you have to, again, as you become more experienced, you just start to pick up on this stuff. There's only a few things to look at, like, oh, did I link to a different lead capture page? Or, oh, did I use the same subject line? Or, oh, wait a minute, like in this email, he said to hyperlink these words to my lead capture page, but I only hyperlinked this one word. Maybe that's what changed the results. As you become more experienced, you realize every little thing matters. And you start to know, if you're not getting results with something, what to look at to see what you did wrong. And it's all really, really simple. You just do exactly what I say, and we're going to talk about that. It's really, really, really simple. But like anything, when you're brand new, you can make little funny mistakes that are really simple to catch if you focus in on these things. I'm going to guide you in that process, but first you need to start sending these emails to get the process moving. Then we can drill down on the details. So a lot of you have started sending some emails. This document's going to give you a lot more. If you follow this process, you will become an ace at lead generation and conversions. There's no way around it. You will. Always remember, you're using the exact same emails I am. Okay. Number 1, emails to leads. So we talked about this is one of the categories, right? And that's where I'm at right now with this document. At the time of this recording, I will add a lot more to this document. Right now, we're just going to talk about emails to leads. And there will be a lot more emails that you can send to leads. Again, that's before they become pre-enrollees. I'll be putting even more emails that you can send to leads before they become pre-enrollees on this document soon. But there's plenty here for you guys to launch to the next level of conversions and results with what I got here right now. Send these emails to low-cost test leads, such as the 1 cent leads we have you plugged into here. And I give a link again to this page, not that page, this page. That's step 1. Most of you are already there. Email A. Now, you're going to see that I've named these or tagged these email A. There's another email called 1A, 2B. Sometimes they're very different from each other. Sometimes they just have a slight difference from each other. 5A. They're not in order because I update this document over time. Internally, I was using this document for myself before I'm sharing it with you now. And just know that they won't be in order. Another one's called RL. It's just the tag for that email because when you don't have to do this, but for those of you who report to the Google Doc, and I really recommend you do because it's going to mean you're paying more attention and you're part of the community and people start to get to know you and they start to help you more when you ask for help because they see you're a contributor. For those of you who decide to post the results that you're getting when you test these emails, we are always testing, you will, in the document, it says to list what email it is. And sometimes you might even use an email like email A, and then you make a little tweak to it, like a slight tweak, and you would just try to include that in your notes. Like you might say, like in that column A, and then parentheses with a tweak or something like that. And then if you got amazing results with it, we'd see that and go, what tweak did you make, man? Awesome. And then when you contribute like that, it comes back to you. It comes back to you big time. Don't hide your results. I swear, like a lot of people do that if you're doing good. And there's a lot of people out there that are really excited to share when they're not doing good, and then they really get quiet when they're doing well. It's not a recipe for big success. You want to attract collaborations with others that are paying attention. It comes back and pays you tenfold. So email A, subject line, swore you'd never do network marketing again. Now this, surprisingly, with this particular lead source is doing really, really well. You just never know. Now with another low-cost lead source, it may not. It just depends how those particular leads are generated. But with this particular lead source, this is doing really, really well. It's not the only one doing well. And again, you can refer to the Google document, which we give you a link to inside that Facebook group, for seeing what other ones are working. This one I'm relying on the most right now. And it gives the email copy. Now in here, let me just refer to this for those of you new. By the way, those of you who are not new, I know this is stuff we've covered already and you're already doing, but I need to start at the beginning. We'll get there quick to stuff that you have not started yet on. If you belong, okay, so this is what the email is saying. Here's the email copy. By the way, in the training, for those that are totally brand new to this, if you go through step 2, we show you how to send the emails, how to do all this stuff. I'm mostly here trying to talk to those of you who have already been doing this, knowing that there might be some catch up here for those of you who haven't plugged in yet. If you have questions or whatever, go to find this document, go to step 1, go to step 2, send your first email, then come to this document. What I wanted to mention, just for those that are following along that maybe aren't quite used to what's going on yet, when I say when it says link to either your HW or PS lead capture page, like you get to choose which you do, and we're reporting the results we're getting depending on which we do. HW stands for Hempworx. It's just one of the Hempworx lead capture pages. And you could choose any one you want, but if you want to model the results others are getting, you want to find out what I'm doing, which one I'm linking to. And again, I share all that in the group that you should already be in if you did step 2 on this page. Okay. All right. Here's the PS one for those that need the refresher. Stands for predictable system. That's the funnel we built for you guys. And again, if you want to know how to get one built and you're new to all this, I keep saying go through these steps. That would be step 3 and 4. But go in the order that we have laid out here or you're going to get confused. Real simple if you just follow the steps. And again, what are those steps? They're right here on this page. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And after you do that, if you want to know how I get the insane results, you can go pro. Okay. Boom, boom, okay. So a lot of you have already been doing this part. Be sure to read the notes. Things like when you use CBD in an email, you put spaces between them. It's going to help you with spam blocking. Follow this. Here's the Hempworx group that we follow. You get all this information in. You can't just get added to that group. You got to go through here, step 2. That's part of that process, getting added to that group. I'm telling you everything you need to know in case you miss something along the way. Again, if you just follow these steps, it's all going to make sense and work. Okay, let me go a little bit further for those of you that have already been doing this. So these are different emails. Like 5A is different email from the ones we just went over. Well, actually, so here's, hold on. Let me see where I'm at. So email A, you can send that one. Email 1A, you can send that one. Email 2B, you can send that one. So there's lots of different ones, right? And some of these you can use to test as a first-time email to your 1 cent leads. And some of these can be used as follow-up emails that you'd already emailed, because maybe the first email doesn't generate a pre-enroll lead, but the second or third or fourth or fifth one will. So these are like ones that you can test for first-time emails, or they can be follow-up emails to the same list. So there's lots of them here. And we've been testing these and talking about different results, and a lot of you have been doing really well with some of these. If you haven't, try a different one. Look at the Google chart and see maybe a different email someone got results with. Make sure you're modeling exactly what they're doing. Here's another one. It's tagged RL because Robin Lynn created this one. She got phenomenal results. Now you're going to notice some of the emails are really short and some of them are really long. Now a lot of you have made the point that you really like the short and sweet ones, that the long-winded ones you feel like are harder for people to get through. But understand that the longer ones also have the ability to build more trust, to create more connection, to not feel so promotional and canned. So while I give you a lot of short and sweet ones, you also want to integrate in and sprinkle in and test some of the longer, more detailed ones that really establish how we're different and that will attract higher quality prospects who engage with depth and substance. So that's something you want to do both. That's a pretty long one there for a reason, and it has gotten great results. Here's another one that's very similar to that one. One of our members, Michael Todd, tweaked it, and so we put it in here because I think it's really good. I haven't tested that one, but Robin tested the heck out of the RL one, and this one's very similar, and I believe it's definitely worth consistently testing based on the fact that Robin's got such great results. Okay, email 6A, subject line, come get it. And then you're going to see notes in here like test other email subject lines I've given you in the past or on your own with this same email. And then you report that on the Google Sheet. Really powerful stuff, guys. Another email that I've used. Almost all of these I've used except for the Michael Todd one and the Robin Lynn one. But because of the great results she got, I included those in here. Anyway, you can kind of see, here's another one. And you can see how short this one is, for example. Subject line, quit your job for good. Here's an example of a really short one. Here's one that's very, very similar, but it links to a different lead capture page, and I believe it has slightly different text. Okay? Now I'm going to add a lot more to this section of emails that you can send either to test as a first-time email to leads that aren't pre-enrollees yet, or to send as a follow-up email to your 1 cent leads, the leads we've been using, which again are part of step 1. Get these 1 cent leads that you could send as a follow-up email. Now, here's a bunch of them we gave you, and I'm going to go over some other ones that you can send here in a second, but I am going to add more is my point, because there's a lot more that I've used, but I'm sifting through them, and I've been working on this whole document. It's much bigger than this, but I'm just sharing this one piece. This is enough for you guys to get to the next level. Email follow-up 1. So there's another one that you can put in there. It's called an FU1. And it's not the profane usage of FU, it's follow-up. All right, so this email, it says send this one to any leads. You send at least one of the above emails to already. So a lot of the ones above work as either a first-time email to your 1 cent leads or a follow-up. This one you wouldn't want to send as a first time. It's saying you can send it if you've at least sent one or more of the above ones to your list already. Subject, following up, and the copy, I know you're in the market for a serious opportunity, but most of it is just garbage. Now remember, you can tweak this a little bit. Like you could change that to say, and test it. You would just be testing, of course. I've used this one exactly as it is, but you have to understand, like, just because I used it and got results with it doesn't mean you can't find something that does even better. Or when a lot of people, here's the other thing, when a lot of people are using the same ones over and over again, sooner or later it can start to reduce the results. And so at some point you want to start just playing with the wording. Also, spam filters are picking up on this stuff. If it's too much the same and it's over and over and over again being sent the same, that can impact results. It doesn't mean it's like a bad thing just because it ends up in people's junk folders. Most of my stuff does because I've sent so many emails and I get great results. So that's not the only variable, but you might want to tweak language here and there and test. You might want to start by using them exactly as they are, but I mean, as you go forward, you can start to play around with tweaking these and testing, and then reporting your results on the Google Sheet. So I know you're in the market for a serious opportunity, but most of it is just garbage. If you're looking for substance and some serious help getting launched to momentum and income, watch this video. And this one's saying link to your PS funnel. That's to the predictable system funnel, the one that looks like, nope, not that one, this one. That you can all get built for you in step 3 and 4. Again, I wouldn't want you to jump to step 3 on this page and get your funnel set up until you've done step 1 and step 2. But after you've done that, you can do some of this more advanced stuff and some of these emails that link to that funnel. Okay, so that's one follow-up email. And by the way, what we're going to move into now is, definitely for those of you who've sent quite a few already follow-ups from the above emails, and then you want to start trickling this stuff in. But, you want to have at least sent 2 or 3 of the above emails before you do what I'm about to share with you. This next style of email really bumps up results considerably by attracting out higher quality leads faster. These emails I'm about to go over make the marketing more candid, personal, and less canned, which is important and exactly what most systems lack. You don't necessarily look for an immediate result with emails like this, though that can certainly happen. But as you send, here's where I'm at, for those following along, but as you send more and more emails like I described below, between the typical ones, the ones that are different from this, and you'll see what I mean in a second, you start to really draw the best prospects out. And these are people that tend to not ask silly questions, who study the material, and when they take action, they duplicate quickly. And what I mean by silly questions is a lot of times prospects ask questions and you can tell they haven't at all followed any steps or watched anything, which is almost impossible. That's not a system that's duplicatable if you were to tailor your time towards those that do that. And I will support you in knowing how to answer questions like that to kick them back into the system. We'll get to that on this document later. Not here today, but that's coming within the next couple of days. Doing what I'm going to share with you below, it tends to attract a lot more prospects to ask great questions because they're actually like watching material, studying what's going on. So when they ask a question, it's like a really good question. Now, the way these style of emails work is you download one of my YouTube videos that is discussing Hempworx, or one that I've done on a topic about marketing that offers value or information. Often these can be videos that are updates to my own team, to our team, on a given topic. It's interesting that it doesn't really matter because it's about like exactly what topic I'm talking about, and it doesn't matter if I'm just doing an update to my team and it doesn't sound like a marketing video. It's interesting because it's more about them getting an inside look as to what's going on behind the marketing. It's also about adding value and doing more than just pitching our program. This builds trust. This helps us stand out, builds a relationship between us and them. And you're able to leverage my videos to do it, my experience and everything to do it. You're downloading my YouTube videos, uploading them to your YouTube channel. And with these versions of, there's another version of these that you can add an intro to, but that's too complicated for most people, at least at the stage you're at now. So you can literally just upload my videos as they are, and we have people getting great results from doing so. In the Facebook group, that you enter into when you go through step 2 from this page. You get automatically plugged into all of that. Let me see if I can find where I was. In the Facebook group, I will often share when I have uploaded a new video to my YouTube account, which you can upload to your YouTube account, and I will often share a new email that is uniquely specific to that video. This strategy becomes incredibly effective if you do it regularly and weave them in to your emails, because it's like it feels different. Like, and you kind of see what I mean as I share these emails, and that you really start to stand out. It's not just canned. We don't want to look like canned autoresponders. I'm not saying there's not a time and place for autoresponders. We'll integrate them in, but I'm teaching you something more powerful. I'm sure a lot of you just want to like set it and forget it, and I'm not saying we can't get to that, especially in many regards, but you don't want to start there where it just feels too canned. People feel like you don't care about them, and they feel like they're just going to sign up into something and be on their own, and that's not going to be effective. This helps us transcend that. As I say, this strategy becomes incredibly effective if you do it regularly, but to get started, you should begin with the videos and emails I share below, and so you just download the YouTube videos from my channel that I share below and upload them to your YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube account, I'll talk about that in a second. And to really maximize this, you can look over my YouTube account and grab any other videos, new and old, that pertain to the topic, even if outdated. Pertain to Hempworx, just updates to my team that are random and seem totally not like marketing videos. Sometimes those are the best because I get to see behind the scenes. And even if I'm talking about stuff that's outdated, they can be highly effective because they don't know, and you can tell them that later. If it's an outdated video, that was last year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. You're just like giving them an inside peek into things, and you can catch them up on the timeline later. You know what I mean? After they become a lead and they start asking great questions. So okay. This is powerful because you're sending those other emails I gave you. And now we're infusing like something more that feels more real. It doesn't feel like it's just marketing. There's some marketing elements to this, obviously, but a lot of it isn't. And like it's saying here, you could just you can either whip up your own simple emails for the videos that you see at my YouTube account, or just use the emails I give you below and that I give you in the Facebook group for new videos I might post. So see below for getting started. And here's where I want to address those of you who don't have a YouTube account. If you don't have a YouTube channel, or you don't know how to download videos from my account and up to your account, this training is provided in the free training area, which you already accessed here at step 2. So again, if we go back to this page I keep referring to, if you just go through these steps, inside, if you go through this process, you will find training videos that show you how to get a YouTube account, and show you how to do all of this real simply, real simply, monkey see, monkey do stuff. Okay, email follow-up 2. So getting now into an example of this. Download my first video that's here, and we could go look at this real quick. Let me see if I can't click on that, huh? Let me see, there we go, I made it a link. Let's go there real quick. So what is this video?
All right, guys, we've made it really simple to be able to contribute to the...
You can already feel the candidness, right? It's a different style that really goes far with people. And a lot of you might not have the confidence or the experience to have the confidence to be able to talk about these things in that candid, natural speaking style. And that's where you get to leverage me and my marketing to accomplish that by just uploading it to your video. You're on my team. And even if you're in a different Hempworx team, if you're in my leads team, like, it doesn't matter. You're on the team. You're using the same system. It's all good. You can use my videos. So download that YouTube video that's there. Again, the training, we've already covered that on how to do that, how to download it. And upload that video to your channel and put your referral links under the video instead of mine. So what are we talking about there? So down here, you can see the text that I put here, and if I hit show more, you want to replace my links with your links. Now, okay. Remember to change up the exact headline and text you use in the description of your YouTube video. YouTube doesn't like it when your copy's text is exactly like mine. What we mean is don't use the exact wording I say here. You're going to have to change that up, and I do training on that elsewhere. Right now, just wing it, do your best, because you're emailing, linking into this, so it doesn't matter that much what it says, as long as you're not saying something silly like, watch my cats jump up and down. I don't know where I got that example, but you get the point. Don't make it ridiculously off point or whatever. You can't go wrong if you just keep it in the right context. Just don't use the exact wording. Don't use too many of the same words that I did. Same thing here. But you can, basically say the same kind of thing to get them into your links. Just, they don't like it when you have the exact same text as I do. That should be obvious why. Like YouTube, if you look over here on the right at all these YouTube videos, of course YouTube wouldn't like to see too many videos coming up all with the exact same headline and text. It starts to look silly. So use your own wording there. And change out those links so you start to make money when someone signs up into the lead program, etc. That's money you can use in your marketing. Nothing wrong with that. Multiple streams of income. Not to make the money, but just because it's there. Like, why not? Why not? Obviously, a big advantage if you can provide value to your list and have more streams of income. Okay, so what am I talking about there for those that don't know? Well, like My Lead Gen Secrets, that's step 1. And they have an affiliate program. They double your leads. They give you double, so it brings them down to a half a cent a lead, and they pay you $5 a month, which you can put back into your marketing for the referrals that this is from work you'd be doing anyway. So change out my referral links with yours, and also, this one here, which goes to here. You want them to go to your PS funnel, not mine. 1 second here. Okay. Then you send the email out below to the low-cost leads, the 1-cent leads, as long as you already emailed at least once or twice before. Not only does this help you make money selling leads to the leads list, as I was just saying, but when you get a referral, you double the leads. We just talked about that. And you are already building a relationship with the leads list. You are building a relationship with the leads list and increasing the chance they will listen to you and sign up. So when you send an email out, what I'm about to go over here, it's not directly selling Hempworx here. So we already promoted Hempworx a couple times. If you keep pounding them with Hempworx and maybe the timing's not right or whatever, they might opt out the list or start to phase out. But when you start to show that you provide value to people that have been in business, even if they're not promoting something now, and here we're going to talk about leads, it shows that you're of value. It shows depth and substance. You become more attractive. You particularly become more attractive to doers and action takers and producers. And that's what I'm positioning you to be able to duplicate that I do. I attract doers. I attract action takers. I attract serious people because I do this stuff. And I'm giving you the exact same formula, literally word for word. So the subject line of this email is insanely profitable lead source for pennies, email copy. And you can just send out the same email I'm sending out. I don't usually mess with low-cost lead options. La-di-da-di-da. I talk about this. There's a link into a YouTube video that you download, which we just talked about. And yes, that's it. Email follow-up 4. This email has also attracted a lot of executives, including several from my team whose prospects came from this video. And let's go look at what this video is.
Making a significant residual income that keeps coming in that totally changes your life.
Okay, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more presentational, but still pretty candid. I was just off the cuff, and that style is really effective. So you can load this up to your YouTube channel. Now later, we're going to have some training for you guys who have Kartra, and you're actually going to be able to, if you don't want to load it up to your YouTube channel, if you want to make it look a little bit more professional, you can upload it to a Kartra page that we're going to give you that you'll know how to clone and easily load in your own YouTube video, even if you're not tech savvy, for those of you who use Kartra, which is discussed in step 3. It's totally optional, but if you want to look more professional, you're going to know how to load these videos into Kartra. First, you would load them to your YouTube channel, and then you would just link to it in Kartra, so it would be giving you views on your YouTube channel as people are landing on a more professional page on your Kartra web page. And then there'd be a button underneath it, or buttons that you would add that link where you want them to go. Just look a little bit more professional. But for right now, you can just load them to your YouTube channel. So this email has also attracted, okay, I read that already. So download that video that we just looked at, upload it to your YouTube account, change out the headline and text slightly so not to duplicate content, put your hyperlinks in the copy below the video, just like I talked about before, things like this, obviously, so they're not going to my pages. Subject line, residual income made easy. You can test different subject lines as well and see what other people in our community are doing as you look at the Google Sheet. Making a significant residual income that keeps coming in and totally changes your life is really simple, assuming you have the right ingredients. So you just use the same copy. I tell you where to link. There's 2 places I think we link. Yeah, we've talked a lot about that. This is the email I'm reading. We've talked a lot about that with you, but Mike breaks it down here, and I have you link Mike breaks it down. That links to your YouTube video, or if you have Kartra. And after we introduce that, we haven't done that at the time of this recording, but any day, some of you have Kartra, you'll be able to upload the video to your Kartra page and link to your Kartra page. I'm just telling you where the links go. Just follow it word for word, guys. These are the emails. This is where the links go. Super, super easy, duplicating exactly what I do to get conversions. But these are the types of emails that make the other emails more effective. And then I have a note here to you. Note that if you send more emails to a list, you can return to emailing a link back to this YouTube video with great success. So you can do that often, but particularly this one, you could, like, after you send like 2 or 3 more emails after this one, you could come back and link back to that same YouTube video, but you wouldn't send the same email. You would write a short email that you would just take from the language in my video. And I think I give you an example here. Here's an example, but you can build more emails that take prospects back to this video just by drawing from the language of my video. Subject line, never seen duplication work, email copy, if you've been in the network marketing. So I basically just listened to my video and took some language from it and created a second email that links to that same video because people might not see it the first time, or they saw it, they watched 30 seconds and they left. And if you write a little bit different email and link back into it, you wouldn't send it in the next email because you just sent a link to it. But maybe 3 or 4 emails from now, that's highly effective. That's the kind of thing that I do. This is what I mean by as you become more experienced, you plug into what we're doing, you start to learn about these little nuances. So I'm giving you all the emails I send, but you can't make little, rookie mistakes. Like you might hear me say something like this, and if I wasn't really clear and didn't keep teaching this and reinforcing it till you get it, you might send an email that links into this video, and then the next day or 2 days later you send another one that links into this video. It's like, no, that's not really as good. You send an email like I just gave you that links into this video, and then you send a few different emails that I've given you, and then 2 or 3 or 4 emails later you can link back a different email into this video. That's effective. Okay. Email follow-up 5. This email has also attracted a lot of results. Download this video. Let's go see what this one is.
Klingler here. It is 2:30 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, and I promise to get
So
this
you can
out.
upload that to your video, your channel. I give you emails that you can send. Here's another one, a follow-up 6, same kind of thing. So this is where you really start to do great. Now, one thing I'm going to recommend is don't have every email you send out, even though I'm giving them to you right in a row. This is another little detail that's important. Don't have every email you send have a link to a video. I can't explain why, but they start to tune out when you make them work so hard every time. So what you do, and this is part of the strategy, again, I'm giving you the emails, but I'm teaching you the strategy, and this part's important. I'm going to continue teaching this. But just listen for a second. All these follow-up emails that link into a video are awesome and important. And you can send 2, sometimes 3 emails in a row. When I say in a row, it could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It could be 2 on Monday, 1 on Tuesday, or it could be 1 on Monday, 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Friday. We'll talk in more nuanced training sessions about that. Don't worry about that right now. Do whatever feels natural in terms of how often you send. No, you can probably send more often than you think, but we'll discuss those nuances later. Don't worry about that right now. Just know that you don't want to always send a link into a video. So you might send an email with a link into a video, and then tomorrow you send one of my easy short emails. And then you might send one that's a little bit longer, like Robin's that I showed you earlier. And then you might send another one of these follow-up emails that has a link into a video. That's how you kind of do it. Now, again, strategy is everything. And we're going to, I can give you all these emails, but in our trainings is where I'm really going to teach you. And it's not hard, but the things I just picked up along the way about, I don't know, I've never really verbalized it. The 1-2 punch comes to mind. Sometimes, I'm going to give you an example. Sometimes you send an email and then you don't do it too much or it's annoying, but sometimes you send an email and then you send one 5 minutes later. I call it the 1-2 punch. I actually just called it that for the first time right now, but I'll call it that from now on. I haven't necessarily articulated all of these nuances, guys. I've been doing this for so long, and I'm just showing you exactly what I'm doing now. It's kind of fun. It's crazy because of making it so duplicatable because you're sending the same emails I am. But you still need to know these nuances. So you send an email. You don't always do this, but every once in a while you send an email, and then you send a follow-up email 5 minutes later just to add another note. And you do it on purpose. It gets their attention. So it's that kind of stuff I'm talking about that I'm going to be teaching you. But just right now I wanted to mention you don't send a link to a video every time. You change it up because a video requires more effort on their part in a sense. It might seem like it's simple to just watching a video, but it does require more engagement. And so if you hit them every time with a video, oh, that's cool, I'll get to it later. Oh, that's cool, I'll get to that later. But when you send a video, maybe another video, and then an email that's really short and sweet, and they just click and they go not to that video, but they go, to something else, something that looks different, It could still be to this page, don't get me wrong. Like these have videos on it. I'm not talking about that. This is more polished. This is more designed. Then it has a better result. Anyway, these are the kinds of nuances I'll continue to dig into. Email follow-up 6. Again, it's another video. This one's like rougher, Listen.
See, I'm in the middle of my workflow here, but I wanted to just take a time out to connect with you guys. Those of you who are using my marketing system, you're generating.
So this one's actually talking right to the team and right over the heads of prospects. And you might think, well, why would I want to send a video that talks right over the heads of the prospects? Because there's something that happens. You can't do it every time, but when you do these different things, you're adding texture and life to the picture. And this is also by giving them behind the scenes look at stuff, it makes them feel more comfortable with what's going on because they start to see how we're going to relate to them and help them after they enroll. And they can tell like the curtain's pulled down and this is what it really is. And it really attracts quality people. Most people, what they do so wrong. Think about this if you've been around the block for a while. They set up these autoresponders and it's so canned, it's so well presented, and the copywriting is so thick. There's just no room for trust to be established. It'd be like somebody who's like a pickup artist, who goes to bars and picks up women. Like if you're savvy, if you've been around a block a few times and you're a young lady and even it's not your first rodeo, you're like, this guy is a creep, or you might just think it just feels really superficial and not like he's connecting with me. Now, obviously, some of these pickup artists really transcend the art of it and even know how to cut through that. And maybe because they've done it, maybe it becomes real and authentic at that point. I don't know. But my point is, if it feels canned, if it feels superficial, which a lot of the autoresponders out there in the opportunity market are, it doesn't matter how good their copy is, it just feels like BS. And that's what something like this, again, let's listen to it again and pick up the tone.
Leads for Hempworx MyDailyChoice. And we're now moving.
They don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but it's making, they want to do the work to listen because they can tell that I'm not trying to sell them. And again, this isn't something you'd send right away. It would be meaningless to send this too early in your emails to your list. But this is how you start to draw out the 1, 2, 3%, which is all you need, guys, of a list, like your 1 cent leads that maybe weren't paying that much attention, but they were kind of following along. And something like this are like, wow, these guys are for real. Let me really listen to what's going on here because they can feel it's candid and it's transparent, and that feels very different to them. So what does this email say? Subject line, what it's like to be on this team. You can see how that would attract quality people, right? Or another subject line I gave you for this one, a look behind the curtain, or no BS residual income building, or no BS marketing help, or your own subject line that you can test. And here's what the email for this one says. I often like to share short, candid videos Mike made for us so you know what it's really like to be on this team. If you've failed at online or network marketing, you're going to totally get why this is so powerful. And you could tweak that to say you could totally get why this is so different. Like, it's okay to do that. It's just if you're reporting this, you'd want to put FU6, follow-up 6, on the Google sheet and then put in parentheses tweaked. So if you get amazing results, we can go, hey, we know you tweaked it. We can have that discussion on a webinar or something. Now, you might be thinking, Mike, I thought you gave me the emails exactly as you sent them, and I'm sure you didn't send this, Mike, where it says I often like to share short, candid videos Mike made. I would just say I made. I've rewritten these slightly, like change where I said I to Mike, but it's the same substance. It's the same message. They're basically getting to use the exact same system, the exact same everything I am, which is what's attracting people to this. And it's the same candor. It's the same transparency and authenticity that you're able to duplicate. It's, other than slight changes of the pronoun usage, or it's replacing my name with the word I. Exact same emails. And I don't even always do that. It's one of the rare times that I refer to me by name. But when we're doing the candid stuff, like that one, that would be important. This is continuing with the email, so it says click to listen. And then you would link to that same video, but on your channel. And it continues on. If you aren't sure what's going on, just take it in. Remember I was talking a moment ago about a lot of them won't even know what I'm talking about? Even the way this is worded, it's just so different than any canned, highly polished copy email that they've gotten. And that's what makes this so effective. So this continues. Here's follow-up 7. And again, you can go through my YouTube account and look through my videos and find other ones that I've posted and just take some short, follow the tone of these emails and take some language out of the video itself to create a nice short video that links into another video that I've posted. Or, that's just going to be more content for you and more results and more emails you can send out. Or, I will be posting new videos constantly and new emails in the group as well, and I'll be adding to this document as well and updating it. Okay, now let's move to even more powerful emails. So you definitely want to consider honing in on this strategy below to speed up results. It's not required, and I underscore that. It's not required, but it definitely will grow your team line faster. You do the exact same thing as the emails above where you download a video from my YouTube account and upload it to your account. Except in this case, you create an intro video so your list is beginning to get to know you in this process and see you as a leader worth joining. Here is an example of adding such an intro to the front of your YouTube, or to the front of my YouTube video. So you're not responsible for having to create all the content. You're leveraging my marketing and my video, but you still get to build relationships through automation with your list. Let's look at one example of somebody that did that. So in this case,
hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever joined a company or a program?
This is Michael Todd doing a great job of setting up my video. I give you the link there so you can come watch it and learn from it. There's lots of different ways to do it. You do it in your style. You do it with your personality. That's the key. If it's not candid and it's not you doing it in your own way, then you're doing it wrong. This is you with your face in it. I'll show you another one where your face doesn't have to be in it for those that are uncomfortable with that. There's two versions. But you see how he sets it up here, and you can watch that, and it goes into one of my videos.
Ever.
We're offering you more help right now to give you some more details.
Hey guys, it's been a little while since I did a
So that's another way to use my videos, but to weave yourself into it so your list is getting to know you. Also a great way to just kind of break barriers and attract out people that have been kind of paying attention but haven't been taking any steps. So you didn't even know they were out there. That's the way to call them out and attract really good people. Here's another way to do that if you don't want to be in the video.
Aloha everyone, Michael Hanley here from michaelhanley.com and Predictable Business Systems with Michael. And
so I'll just kind of fast forward here. You can watch this, but you can see he's talking.
Over the exact system.
He just shows this one screen.
He's using.
So it's pretty easy.
Online. He's one of the leading, I'm close.
And he's changing the slides a little bit. You can change the slides a lot. You're showing your computer screen. You could just be showing like literally what's on your computer, like a web address. You could pull up Hempworx. You keep it as simple as you want or make it as sophisticated as you want. But with your voice, then it helps build that relationship. And then he introduces me.
Go back and look. It's a watch. Sorry. So
that keeps coming in that totally changes your life.
Okay, so it's another thing you can do. It's a little bit more advanced than most of you might be ready for, and you don't have to do this. But you can see how that would bring your list to life even faster, right? So again, not something you have to do. You're going to get results even if you don't do that, but when you do that, it just speeds it up. If you need training on how to use like editing software and stuff, for those of you who are in Profit Platform, if you're at level 3 with us, some of you know what I'm talking about. That's, if you look at this sheet here and you've done level 1, you need to do step 1. Sorry, this isn't step 1. Step 2, do that first. Start sending emails. Step 3, get your funnel set up. Step 4, complete setting it up. Only then would you consider what I'm talking about now. But those of you at the pro level, you're in Profit Platform or Ambassador, you get lots of training on how to do editing and stuff. We'll probably do some simple classes on that. You could just do a quick Google or YouTube search and figure some of it out. But some of you who are tech challenged, if you really need our like really super uber simple step-by-step stuff, we'll circle back around and help you with that. If you're in Profit Platform or Ambassador, you get lots of training on that. Just ask in there. If you're not in Profit Platform or Ambassador, don't even think about this if you don't know how to do it until you've gotten through step 4 on this page. But if you have, then that would be the next step for you if you want to move into putting your own introduction into this like Michael Hanley did here.
aloha everyone.
Okay, it just makes it just a whole other, again, it's about building trust, building relationships through automation. So while you're sleeping, eating, playing with the kids, doing stuff, other stuff about your day, maybe you still have a full-time job you're looking to get out of with this, well, you're doing other stuff. If you put an intro at the front of your video, like those 2 examples I just showed you, you're now building relationships through automation when you're not even working because you put it together and your emails are going out and doing that. And you start bringing in leads from YouTube and Google searches. People could search my name and your video comes up and then they join your link and they sign up because they want access to my system. That's where you're really leveraging my marketing. And when you put yourself into the intro, it just accelerates the trust building process. Not required, but just speeds things up. So don't jump into that if you're not ready. If you don't know how to use video editing software, if it scares you or whatever, just don't do that. Do everything else and you can consider that later. Okay, so going back here. Okay, so that's a lot for now for you to dig into and begin with. I will continue adding more and more emails. Again, this was the category of sending to leads before they become a pre-enrollee. That's what this all is. So this is what we just covered. Emails to leads before they become pre-enrollees. I'm going to add a lot more here, but that's plenty for you to significantly increase your conversions and start duplicating that extra layer and dynamic that I do with my list that allows me to get such great results. And even if you're just linking into videos that I've done, then you're totally duplicating what I'm doing. And that's 100% okay. Add yourself on the intro for that next layer, but I know most of you aren't going to be ready for that for a long time, and that's okay. You don't even have to ever do it. You can still have success. If you want to duplicate exactly what I'm doing, just use my YouTube videos as they are. It's just if you put an intro there, now you're kind of taking a leadership role, positioning yourself to become a top producer. People sort of see you differently, and that's always a good thing for them to see you as a leader. Not required, but a big boost. And then next, I'm also going to add to this document emails to send to pre-enrollees, lots of them, to send a different, you send a different one for a different time of week. For example, on Thursdays, as just an example, we need to really focus in on, hey, you've got people if you've got people underneath them who you've enrolled or someone upline to you, their spillovers enrolled, you need to tell them, hey, you could get jumped, right? You could lose that volume and that business builder tonight on Thursdays at midnight. But on Fridays, we kind of like lay off of that conversation on Fridays and Saturdays and focus more on substance, not the strategy and being jumped in the team line, but Fridays and Saturdays are different. So again, the emails that I'm going to give you for pre-enrollees will outline all of that, and I will add a lot more to the category that I just mentioned. All right, guys, if you follow everything I'm giving you, step-by-step, play-by-play, and you approach it without emotional attachment to the day-to-day stats, but instead you connect or attach to the process, and you really understand the spirit of what I'm giving you, and you understand and keep in perspective, I'm giving you the exact same emails I am. But where you get the really magical results is nuance. It's about strategy. It's about how you use these emails, when you send these emails. And only after you've started sending these emails and doing what I'm giving you, can I then move on to the nuance that allows you to really do the ridiculous results where you can truly become an ace at lead generation and conversions and know it like the back of your hand. I'm giving you the exact same emails I'm using, so this is not that complicated. I'm giving you the exact same presentations that I'm referring my leads to. I'm giving you the exact same marketing funnels that I'm sending my leads to. Is there some nuance to learn to maximize it? Of course there is. But you don't have to write the emails. You don't have to make the presentations. You don't even have to do an intro at the front of a YouTube video if you don't want to. You'll still be able to duplicate the exact same content that I'm using, and your leads have the same offer. They still get to duplicate the exact same system, which is highly attractive to them. It's just if you do the intros eventually at the front of your YouTube videos, you will accelerate. That's all. You'll become a top producer yourself, or you can avoid that and just use this system, leverage this system to attract top producers. That will work too. Whatever you do, if you follow the system, you use these emails and you continue to plug into my training on how and when to use them, because there's a lot of nuance in there. I showed you some examples of that today, but none of it is rocket science. If you do that, you will become an ace at lead generation and conversions. All right, I'll see you guys soon.